is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you on based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
At ease. It's your boy Soul Immortal. In 2009, after I got divorced, right? At some point, I got up to 267 pounds, right? I was 5'9", and I was barely making ends meet. Yet, on Facebook, my inbox was blowing up with women, right? Fast forward to 2021, right? Of course, I've lost a few pounds, but I ain't got no six-pack or nothing like that, right? I'm still 5'9" and a half. You know, and my DMs on Instagram, you know, my cup is still running over. Why is this? So a sister hit me up on IG, and she had this question, right? She says, what dating advice do you give a 5% woman who wants to date and be in a committed relationship but is unable to find an enlightened man? Admittedly, I have an extremely difficult time dating. I have no issues with submission to the right man. I cook, I clean, I split the check, and support during times of economic hardship. Now I encounter a man who wants nothing to do with me because I'm a black woman. Any advice you can provide would be greatly appreciated. So sister, I'll tell you exactly what the problem is. Because the same problem applies to some men, right? Now I sit on this question for about a week because it took everything in me to try to stick to the code. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to reply to this sister and say things, you know that we've always been said. You know, I wanted to say, you know, well, sister, you know, we have this thing called the wall, and once you hit a certain limit, then your value is going to fall off. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to say things like, you know, well, sister, you know, when women have, you know, kids, then, you know, then certain things started to apply. Even though I don't think this sister has any children, you know, I wanted to say things like, well, sister, once you get on up in age, then you know, things start to change a little bit. But you know, knowing what I know, I couldn't go that route because I would have been feeding this woman some BS, right? Because you have to understand, all these things that I'm talking about, they only apply to people that lack understanding, right? So some years ago, man, I was living in Tyler, Texas, and I was working in Halliburton. And I was working with this brother, man. I can't think of his real name, but we used to call him 8 Ball. Brother was about my height, man, probably about 350, maybe more pounds. Big dude, cool brother though, right? And I was working with this brother, man, for a good while. Brother was quiet, and you know, and I always just had a perception about this brother, right? So one weekend, you know, a lot of guys from the workplace, we met up at a club up in Tyler that old 8 Ball invited us to. And what blew my mind is that up in this club, man, 8 Ball was like a celebrity up in there, man. You know, women were all over him, man. I think some women bought him some drinks that night, but women were just coming and going, just loving all over him. And I was like, wow, I had no idea that 8 had it like that, right? So the next day at work, you know, that next Monday at work, man, I see 8 across the way, and I'm just scoping him out, man. And I'm just thinking to myself, like what is it about this brother that had that scenario taking place like it was, right? Now, at that moment, I couldn't figure it out, right? But in the years to come, I would finally understand, you know, why 8 Ball had it going on in the club that night, right? It was the exact same reason why, you know, in 2009, you know, at 5'9", 270 plus pounds almost, you know, my Facebook inbox was still flooded. You know what I'm saying? It's the same reason why in 2021, you know, my DM cup still runneth over, right? And that reason is because, you know, I wouldn't allow anybody to tell me that it shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? In other words, in my mind, I'm a catch. You know what I'm saying? You know, my combo is on 1,000. You know, I'm a Cancer man, so I'm just automatically in tune with feminine energy, right? You know, in 3, I'm an absolute monster in the bedroom. You know, in my mind, you know, there's no reason why my DM shouldn't be looking like a Soul Train line of nothing but sisters. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, the exact same mindset applies to women. Now pause. Because what I'm not finna do is pander to you women. Because in all actuality, you know, this only applies to 5 out of every 100 of y'all, right? But the thing is, it still applies. And for you women that say, oh no, well it's not like that for women, I have 2 words for you. Gabourey Sidibe.
Hi. Hi. Ah, I put a ring on it.
That's it. That's all we wanted to say.
We're engaged.
So you're telling me that Precious, right, that's rocking some form of Jerry curl or something, right? You know, that snorts at the end of her Instagram videos, right? Can get a ring on it and you can't?
No,
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
I'll tell you how. Because see, you know, even though Mrs. Sidibe, you know, is coming in at 5'2", you know, 200 plus pounds in the black corner or whatever she is, right? She didn't allow anybody to tell her that she wasn't supposed to be, you know, knocking it out the park in the box office, right? What Mrs. Sidibe didn't do, you know, she didn't allow anybody to tell her, you know, that even though she's still rocking a curl kit made by Jerry himself, maybe in the year of your Lord 2021, you know, she didn't allow anybody to tell her that she shouldn't be booed up, right? And even though her man, you know, Brandon Frankel, you know, has a leprechaun-esque vibe about himself, she was still able to attract a man that's reportedly worth close to $300 million. So that was a good question, sister. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you the recipe, my manifestation masterclass. Because see, once you understand how this world works, you know, attracting people is going to be child's play. So I'm going to send that to you for free. But this is the thing. You know, I said all of that just to say this. You know, we have to understand and remember that this world responds to us. You know, not us respond to it. You know what I'm saying? So you have one of 2 choices as men and women in this world, right? You know, you can either, you know, put your ears to the street and listen to the world tell you what you should be like, you know, or you can just sit back like a god and tell the world what it is.